So thank you again for being here with Light Journey Tarots, and just joining me again for another week of, connecting your energy to mine. What I normally do is pull 3 cards and see what message Spirit wants to bring forth. This week I wanted to be a little bit more intentional with pulling something that's positive and high vibrational, just to kind of counteract all the heaviness that's in the world right now. So if you do feel called to this message, know that it is positive and it is, something positive and hopeful coming forward in your life right now. So take what resonates, leave the rest, as it is a collective reading. So there could be some messages in there for you and maybe some for someone else. This does feel like with this collective that people are manifesting, and the hard work is going to pull through some, kind of like reap what you sow. So you've been putting in the work and good things are coming. So with that, I decided to call this week's reading The Golden Harvest. Enjoy. Hi, fellow lights and light travelers. Welcome again to Light Journeys Tarot. I appreciate your being here and, connecting your energy with mine into the collective that is here connected in this video. There's a lot going on in the world right now, right? Sometimes what I like to do is I'll pull cards and I will see what message wants to come forth. Today, although I always connect with the highest intention for whomever I'm reading for, today I'm setting more of an intention to bring forth a message of positivity. So I'm going to connect through with this beautiful new deck that I have. And I will connect, if you are interested in this deck, I'll put the information down for this Tarot 1 deck in the description of the video, so that if you're interested, you can go get yourself a deck. It's really beautiful. The artist took like 7 years to create this. It's gorgeous. But going off deck about the deck, kind of tangenting, what I wanted to do, again, was what I was saying, is I'm going to pull forth a message of hope, some good news. So what good message, what hopeful message, what positive message is coming through for the collective in this video? So if you are here, this message of positivity is for you. It could be timeless. So whenever you come about this could be something that's coming forth for you when you need it. So like always, take what resonates, leave the rest. Let's get into it. Thanks again, and let's see what's going to come forth from Spirit. All right, Spirit. What positive message would like to come forth for this collective? Everybody who is connecting with their energy, this message is coming out to the collective. What message, what positive message, what hopeful message would like to come forth for this collective, Spirit? Right, I'm going to stop. This Page of Coins, the 3 of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. So with the Page of Coins, and I do like to read card by card, and then we'll read the bigger story together. So with the Page of Coins, that's manifestation, right? New skills coming in. This could be manifesting financially, right? Because this is coins, so sometimes it's financially, but this could be manifestation in life. So as I read, as this is a collective, see how this feels, how it speaks to you, and I like always, take what resonates and leave the rest. So what I like to do is give the general overview, but then I like to feel into the reading and see what else it has to say. So the first thing I'm immediately drawn to is her, like, it looks like this crown, this headband, and immediately to the middle, and it feels like, that third eye. So it feels like with that manifestation piece, and, it could be materialistically, right? It could be financially, but it could also be in different things in your life. The fact that I'm tuned into here, for me, is saying one of two things, right? You as a collective, you as an individual who is here listening to this, is a huge manifester. You have your third eye open, and you're very much in that manifesting vibration at this moment. So be mindful of the thoughts that you are having, and like although she looks neutral, I feel like, or this, maybe let me not gender it, as this individual on the card looks neutral, I feel like slight joy here. So it feels like it's calling you to remain calm, and try to be as neutral as possible, but with a positive spin, an optimistic spin on the things that you're manifesting. So it feels like it's saying be grounded, be centered, but also be positive in your manifesting. And this is to work with your third eye. So if you're a person that you feel already in that manifestor creator space, spiritual space, right, that you're used to this, then by all means keep leaning into that. You're very strong in that energy. And then there's those of you that maybe perhaps this is something new to you. You are very much manifesting, whether you're aware of it or not. So you do have that very strongly. And this is an invitation to work more with that third eye chakra, your mind's eye, putting things in your mind's eye. And it almost feels like this crown almost looks like, not only is it around her, but it kind of looks like it's, going out like this. So projecting your images outwards and manifesting and, neutral, but positive. So this could be for yourself. You're manifesting. It could also be like your view of how you see things, with your family, with your friends, with your community, with your blah, 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 blah. It can go further and further out, right? So both inwards and outwards. Setting a neutral but positive, loving, nurturing intention outwards and inwards, right? It feels like in and out, and using that collective third eye manifestor energy. Let's see. I'm also immediately drawn down. So this feels like it's a little bit below the throat and kind of in the heart chakra. So there could be, I wanted to say heart initially, as it's slightly above, I feel like there's something on this play of speaking from your heart, or having, right, those visions that you're manifesting be vocalized from your heart space. So when you are imagining and manifesting, pulling both from your heart space, what is something I would love to see? What is something that is in a loving energy? And then voicing it or communicating it, or, something along those lines, right? It feels like a blend between the two. Let's see. And I feel like in doing this, it's going to kind of like give you wings. Like this feels like the way it's sitting, it kind of looks like a winged cape almost that's like being created. So this will help free you, make you feel free, will, let you feel like you're soaring, like your thoughts are flying, your spirit feels free, right? There's just something, it creates the buoyancy, right? The lift that you're gonna receive from utilizing it in that way. And also by doing that, I feel like it's kind of like antennas out. So you're manifesting, whether it's inwards or outwards, is definitely being broadcast out to the universe. So you're very much strong in that energy. So either those of you that are already in that state and know how to connect to that state, please continue to do so. For those of you, if it's new to you, like, look into it. This is definitely an invitation to, you are strong enough and you are doing that already. So to have an awareness of that and then to work with that more. So from like a neutral positive, and it'll create a lightness. Okay. So, and it could be like I said, it'll bring that in materialistically with like financial stuff, but it could also be in various aspects of your life. Okay. So what I'm feeling with this is this Three of Wands is like about progress. It's about persistence, right? We're always talking about previously that you're in this manifestor energy very strongly right now. This is showing that either in being in that state consciously or unconsciously, this is creating progress in your life. So this is kind of just confirming that previous card and saying, yes, like the stuff that you are manifesting is progressing, right? There's that steady persistence. With your persistence, right? You're creating that progress. Let's look. Let's connect. I'm like first drawn, right? The first thing that draws my eyes when I look directly at the card is this. I want to go back to, so I'm seeing crystals here. So let's start with the crystals. I'm trying to jump everywhere. Okay, let's see. Crystals, what's coming through are crystals are something that has formed through time, just like we're saying that persistence, right? So like I have my beautiful crystals here that always, accompany me during my readings, right? This is something that Mother Nature nurtured and built, and it has formed not quickly. This is something that has taken time. So this progress that you're making, like, it doesn't feel like you're at the beginning stages of something. To be in the crystal form feels like it's something that you have been progressing and persistent with over a long amount of time. So much so that now you're getting this beautiful, form that's coming forth, right? You're getting these beautiful colors and formations that start to like show themselves, right? So trust that the work and the persistence that you have been putting forth is progressing so much so that you're at a point where you have all these beautiful crystals. Crystals hold, take it or leave it, but often is said, right, within the metaphysical, spiritual spaces that crystals hold energy, right? So you have formed through your life experiences thus far this beautiful curated energy. And I'm also seeing, right, this blossoming, right? So this manifestation, this persistence through your life, this growth has crystallized into this beautiful, abundant, prismatic, strong energy, okay? And it's creating progress. And you've got that outward, right? It's almost like, I feel like this crystal is connecting to this and like kind of shooting out focused intention, right? So it's, we're pulling back from the other card, this again, you're getting that third eye chakra coming forth. And it's creating, like I'm visioning in my mind like a crystal like being placed at like the base of like a machine of some sort, right? And then the crystal has like prismatic colors, and then it's focused and like shot out, and it's like a beam of like gorgeous Roy G. Biv, right? Like you're getting all the colors, and maybe even colors that we're not even aware of, right? Shooting out. Like you have very focused attention because of the progress and the persistence that you've put forward. And it's definitely progressing. And this feels like positive. This also feels like a bit confident, like, right? Like she's like focused on what she's wanting and she's creating this. So it feels like your focused attention on the things that you're wanting to manifest previously, right, is coming to fruition because you've put in the work, and now it's blossoming and it's coming forward. So yeah, and the word sprout, right? It's sprouting. It's, getting to the point where you're going to start to see the fruits of your labor. Beautiful. This is really positive. This is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful energy and wonderful information coming through. So like the Nine of Swords figures a very courageous, right? It's very ambitious character, right? So as we're telling this story, right, you're in a manifester thing because of the growth and the progression and the persistence that you put forth very courageously, right? You're having that growth happening, right? And this ambition and this courageousness is coming forth and helping to manifest its build. Like you're a very strong collective, right? The characters, those of you who are stepping forth or are drawn to this collective reading, you're definitely courageous in going against the grain and going after what you want and your ambitions and your drive and your persistence is something that, I truly feel like is coming forth and is, creating this. Pretty soon you're going to be seeing the fruits of your labor, but you're manifesting hardcore right now. So like, again, that neutral positive aspect. Let's see if anything else comes forth from him. So I'm going to go with first instinct. So this, right, it's his hand and it's coming forth. But when I immediately first looked at it, it almost felt like a musical instrument. So I know it's his hand and he's got like an instrument that he's kind of controlling with his hand. But for me, this almost feels like music. You could be musically inclined or drawn to music or, feel like you get messages through music. What this feels like to me is in your, how do I want to say this? You are the composer. You are the lyricist. You are the, the conductor of the orchestra, right? You are, in your ambition and in your courageousness, in that energy of, I am going to create this beautiful symphony. So this feels like you are the creator of the music. This almost feels like a flute to me, which, I'm sure that's not what it is, but it just feels like you are the creator of the music. You are setting your own song. So again, this could be that you are literally working on this, but this doesn't necessarily have to be literal. This just could be that you yourself are conducting the beautiful symphony of your life and how things are going, because you're in that manifestor energy and you've put in the persistent work. And now it's like, in the flow state, in this flow state, you are creating the rhythms and the melodies and setting out the song and the messaging and, the vibration, musically into this world. So doesn't have to literally be musically into this world, but, like metaphorically, like birds sing their songs, like, even you speaking is melodic, you know what I mean? Like you are setting your intentions with, how you create, and you are creating this beautiful symphony, this orchestra, this play of your life, and you are controlling it. This is in your hands. This is in your hands, but it's not just we're offering it's in your hands. This is you are actively controlling it in this beautifully courageous way. So it's almost like saying, hey, great job. So yeah, this is beautiful. Just if you were curious whether or not, you are manifesting, or the thing that you've been putting the work into, where your heart's intention has been, how you're wanting to create, how you're wanting to set your message out into the world, this is telling you it's happening. This is coming forth. The work is happening. There's blossoming happening. And, it's an invitation to do so from a neutrally optimistic way, and to be mindful of you connecting to that third eye is really setting out that energy, and the universe is hearing you loud and clear. So this stuff is 100% manifesting. So that's exciting. What I like to do is after I do my 3 cards, and if you've been here before, you do know this is how I do it, but I like to pull oracle cards to see if there's anything else that Spirit would like to bring forward to add to this reading. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to see which of my oracle decks are calling to me and which feels right for this reading. All right, the first oracle deck that's calling to me is the Mystical Shaman Pocket Oracle. So let's go ahead and see what message would like to come through for the collective. Spirit, what other message would you like to bring through for the collective in this reading today? All right, we got a card. It flew out, so we're going to go with this. It's called the Holy Mountain. All right, with my oracle decks, I like to connect to what the creators of the deck say for the card first and foremost. So let's do that and let's read. Okay, the Holy Mountain says the essence. Native peoples around the earth recognize mountains as places of great power where one encounters spirit or where the gods or goddesses reside. In ancient Greece, Mount Olympus was the home of 12 main gods and goddesses. In Peru, pilgrims climb the ice-capped Mount Sagante, I don't know if I'm saying that right, apologies, to receive the starlight and bring fire to the earth. So the invitation. The holy mountain invites you to go on a sacred pilgrimage to acquire vision and perspective. Okay, so that could be what's coming through a little bit extra with that third eye, right? First, you must accept the present situation as an opportunity to discover higher understanding. Find a sacred altar where others who came before you have prayed and found wisdom, and make your offering there. Make a commitment to walk with courage, love, and compassion until you see with clarity, the perfection of all. So this is medicine. So this is if you're called to feel like you need some medicine from this right? From this message. When the holy mountain shows up, it is time to be active. Do not let your doubts deter you and keep you bound. This is a time to leap over challenges and to remember that from the top of the mountain, there are no obstacles, only beauty and an unobstructed view of the entire earth. And there's no need to go shopping for the right hiking boots or camping equipment to climb the holy mountain. You already have the gear you need. Overcome any lethargy, indolence, and laziness, and these are the real obstacles. And I would even go on to say that this shows that you are a courageous person and you've been putting in the persistence. So in this, I feel like if you are called to this, quote, holy mountain of, gathering information and connecting with your third eye, this is something that you are fully, truly capable of. I would also say too, it feels like, right, it shows that little character kind of sitting on top of the mountain with the light coming through. I feel like this is a point of illumination from you. So it could be that you're feeling called to connect, like I said, or invited to connect more with your third eye. If this isn't something you're already doing, unconsciously, no, you are manifesting 100%. So maybe in that stillness and being courageous and connecting more with it, you're going to be illuminated even more in your path and your light. Your journey and the path that you're supposed to be taking is going to be illuminated even more clearly for you in this holy mountain journey. Beautiful. All right. The other deck that called to me is the Wisdom of the Oracle. So let's see what comes forth for you. All right, Spirit, what else would like to come forth for this collective? What else would like to come forth for this collective in this reading today? Okay, I'm going to stop. Milk and honey. Let's see. Beautiful card. Very cool. Okay, milk and honey. Essential meanings, okay? The taste of prosperity. We're talking about that manifesting and things coming to fruition. So again, this could be prosperity financially, but it could also be other things in your life. 100%. Again, thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation that you definitely have something coming forth. And, there's good fortune coming your way. Opportunities born of authenticity, right? Being courageous, being uniquely yourself. Thank you again, Spirit. Nurturing abundance, trusting that your needs will be met. So, okay, that could be something that we didn't touch upon, is trusting that you are definitely at that part and that this is coming into fruition. The Oracle's message. You've entered a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey that everyone wants to experience. It's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious. Oh, interesting. When all your senses are awake to the unlimited possibilities in the universe. So there you go, looking at it from the higher perspective and getting illuminated. Beautiful. These times are precious and only come when you're in your authentic zone, wearing the world as a loose garment, not wanting, yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. I feel like that loose garment almost feels like that wings thing that I felt like that cloak that was coming on. So there you go. Thank you, Spirit. Abundance is an energy that you are a living part of. All your needs are being met. You are given the gift of nourishment in every form. Okay, so for those that are curious about relationship message says, sensuality, connection, and passionate romance between lovers, sweet moments of understanding, and love among friends and family are all here for you to savor now. Your heart's calling will be answered. Let your thoughts and feelings be sweet with gratitude, and you will be nourished with the honey of abundance. Beautiful. For those with the prosperity, curious about that. There is only one authentic you. This version of yourself is Spirit's emissary in the world. When you are in alignment with the truth that you are a unique expression of the divine, your ego can rest and your soul can illuminate your purpose. There you go. We're talking about illumination, your path, all of that stuff. Beautiful. Now is the time when you're seeking your true north. When you find this direction, you automatically step into prosperity and the world brings you evidence of abundance. Miracles are a choice and a way of seeing the world. With every choice you make right now, you have the potential to seize good fortune and embrace your destiny. Opportunities will lead you to your best life now. Be open to them. You are getting a sweet taste of what you want. So like I said, this work that you've been putting in, that manifestor energy is just coming in abundance. Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. I love when the cards fall like this. And they fall like this, like it's just, I'm grateful to my spirit guides working with my energy and your collective energy to bring forth beautiful messages, and then just being like, yep, boom, this is a message for you guys. Thank you, Spirit. Protection message. A nameless unease compels you to turn to pleasure and comfort as a means to escape what's really going on, right? That's the truth for a lot of us, right? It works in moments, but only fleetingly before the feelings return, and you need to re-up until you're exhausted. Feeling worse than you did before, you may continue struggling, or you may see the light and choose to surrender to Spirit. Now is the time for practicing self-care. If you can, so if this part resonates for you, take what resonates. If it doesn't, release it, right? This is for a collective, so this part might not be for you, or maybe it speaks to you. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. If you can, do so before you engage in behaviors you'll regret later. You are so loved and so cared for. Feel love and compassion for yourself. Turn your troubles over to the divine for healing. That's all that counts right now. So beautiful. I feel like overall this is very positive. There's definitely abundance coming in. There's work that you've been doing. You've built those crystals, right? You've put in that work and that effort, and this beautiful fruition is, you're in the land of milk and honey. If you so choose to go inside, you will get that illumination on what to do next. And if you do so courageously. But it also feels like you are composing the symphony and conducting the music of your life right now. So be very cognizant of that. Connect with that. Perhaps, be protective in your state, to not, to be cautious in your way of thinking, to make sure that you're manifesting from a neutral and positive way. But this feels very positive. This feels like beautiful things are coming forth. I thank Spirit for, bringing forth this amazing message for the collective. And, take what resonates, leave the rest. I appreciate your being here. Thank you again for your time and energy. Go ahead and share this. Give it a like. Thank you for your time. And yeah, I'll see you all at the next reading. Bye.